Hello and welcome back to another daily cribbage against Rich. What will Rich bring us today? We can discard the King Queen if we want to keep points. Sometimes you want to discard 6-9 here if you really need to cut a 3 or something like this, but 6 points is hard to say no to. And I will just double this 4. I don't do this all the time. I would sometimes just play out the 9 instead, and it's mostly because of this kind of situation. We end up getting in a bit of trouble against opponent having double 4s. We get tripled, and once that happens, we're left on 12, and we don't really have a good follow-up there. So some avoidable point loss is possible, but yeah, sometimes you've got to double those 4s. I think that in general you want to follow something a little bit more, something a bit more, well-reasoned than what I was doing there. So it's okay to do sometimes, but not all the time. But I'm not doing it for a particularly good reason. I'm sure there are better reasons to do it, and in that case, we didn't have a good follow-up. It would be okay if we had like a 3, because then we could go 4-4-3, but we didn't. Okay, so we've got a run of 4 here. We can discard the double 6, or we could try and keep double 6 together and discard Jack Queen, also very reasonable. We didn't have a flush in hand, and we'll play our 9 because it's pretty bad if our opponent has 3-3, and we would like to believe they don't have 3-3. But they do have a 3-3 here, 3-3 for ace, which isn't too bad, right? That doesn't add to 15, so only 6 points there, but it does get them to the milestone of 45. We're a little bit behind. And it's at times like this you can't help but think back to your previous decisions and think where you would be if you just didn't triple that 4. Okay, King 9 is nice and safe, and a pretty defensive plan here is probably on our radar. We can offload our 5 here, and if our opponent pairs our 5, they have to be pretty scared of getting tripled, but our opponent goes in with no fear and even comes out quite ahead, getting the 3-4-5 run. So opponent getting quite a lot of mileage out of their unconventional kind of hand there with the ace 3 5 jack. Okay, got 6 8 10 jack, which I'll probably keep together and ditch the double 3. It's also worth getting rid of 10 jack here. Actually, I'm going to switch my mind at the last moment and go 10 jack instead. And we get to play out this, and this is just a pair of 3s. So our opponent doesn't have another 2. They do, so they get an extra point for 31 there, compared to our pair of 3s. It just gets us 1 point for the last card. Opponent does make it to 72. We're struggling a lot here. Yeah, if we have a look, yeah, 3-3 is actually in 3rd place apparently, but that's a good spot. Well, 4-5-6 is nice, and we'll keep it with the jack. This game is going very much in the wrong direction. Let's start with a 4. Our opponent doesn't fear the 4-4. Maybe they got more 4s in the back themselves. They've shown us 4 king ace, and so maybe we get the double 5, and we do get a double 5 there. So a few points for us. 9 points takes us up to 69, which is not quite the milestone, but the milestone's already gone for our opponent. They are well ahead and looking to try and get to 96, which is 13 points away. It's kind of a long way off. It's kind of hard to imagine that they're going to get 96. But as they start playing their cards, they're showing us a 5 and a queen and a jack. There you go. And then all of a sudden they've got a hand that's worth about 12 points. It does take them to the milestone. So opponent does hit 98. So a couple of options for us. We can either try and play super defensively This hand that we have doesn't really lend itself to that. It really lends itself to hitting a 7 or an ace. Aces are fine. But putting 2-4 into the crib is fairly dangerous. Let's see, 5-5, 4, ace, 10 for our opponents. A lot of points. That is, and the 2-4, we managed to get away with a little bit there. We don't have a very good chance, but we're going to try because there's a world where our opponent doesn't get many points this round. Well, the 5 kind of seals the deal in a sense. It seals the deal because any hand that contains a 5, whether that be in it or as the top card, is always worth at least 2 points. And as our opponent played out the cards, we saw they had actually a very reasonable hand. So we'll say good game. Have a little look at the stats. Our opponent managed to get some value out of us on the play. That definitely happened, but they also had some pretty good hands. So I'll call it there for this one, and I will see you again for another daily cribbage. Bye for now.